and came to see me. I said, thank you very much. I took the album, put it in my archives, and I told him to tell the legations to work. Because we don't have the money. After an administration bought 200 buses, some people to come and burn it, so let them work.
So do you mean fire for fire?
More than that, we will arrest them. What I hope to arrest them, try them, give them very bad publicity, and then jail them, so that people will know that if they behave, they will not get away with it.
So in response to that, some Nigerians accuse you of playing what they call double standards, that insurgents, bandits, and kidnappers were never threatened in such a manner. How will you react to that?
They have been unfair. They should go and ask the governors of Sokoto, Zamfara, Katsina, and find out how we have been deploying the police and the military to deal with the bandits. We are not sparing anybody. But Nigeria is vast, and there are a lot of forests.
So it is a known fact that you inherited these challenges of security from previous administrations. You have done so much towards finding lasting solutions. What have been your frustrations?
We are doing a lot. The problem is, if you order helicopters, you order fighter aircraft, you order tanks, it takes time. We got armored vehicles from Jordan, from China, and these things, you have to take them to your institutions where they will be train the trainer. You get people, train them, Nigerians, stock spare parts before you send them to operational area. These things take time, especially when you don't have much foreign exchange. But on a quiet way, if you can talk to some of your colleagues in the Air Force or in the Army, tell them where were they or where were we in 2015, where are we now? In terms of equipment, training, it's amazing. But no, we will never do well with those who want to oppose us. The Nigerian elite ought to give more time to what the effort the government is doing to physically secure the country, improve the economy, and stop corruption. And Nigerian elite know that we campaigned both in 2015 and 2019 on security, because it's just common sense. You have to secure a country or an establishment to manage it properly. So number one thing is security. Number two, economy. Employment, a lot of youth that are unemployed. And then fighting corruption, making sure that the regulations we have on the ground are followed to the letter. No shortcuts.
Recently, Your Excellency, arrests have been made in respect of those allegedly financing terrorism. What will you say is their motive, and how do you intend to deal with the situation?
Their motive is that they are made irrelevant. And they want to use their resources, the resources they accumulated over the years, to prove that they are still around. And the administration will deal with them. Anybody caught will be dealt with.
Your Excellency, is there any hope that we will see a Nigeria that is free of security concerns before you leave office?
Well, that is my hope. That's what I'm working to. As I said, number one thing is security. If you don't secure the country, firstly, people will not invest. That was why those who organized the answers, I sent all the ministers back to their constituencies. Constitutionally, the ministers represent their states. I said they should go to their states. Let them speak to the governors. Let them speak to the political leaders. Let them speak to the traditional leaders. And very importantly, let them speak to the youth. That the federal government has no more vacancy. Virtually every department is filled. The same thing in the states, the same thing in local governments. So you can have a good degree from a good university, and you will never get a job. Because if you promote insecurity by banning factories, by banning institutions, nobody will come and invest. So it's in their own interest to make sure that Nigeria is secure. When the country is secure, it's potentially rich. God has endowed Nigeria with resources. People will come and invest. But there must be security. There must be stability. Countries that have the resources to invest
is one of the cardinal pillars of your administration. How will you describe the journey so far, Your Excellency?
Well, under this system is difficult. I would like to repeat what I used to say. When I was, I think, a bit younger and in uniform when I came, I arrested governors, ministers, commissioners, and put them under restriction or detention and told them that they are guilty until they can prove themselves innocent. Now this is opposite democratic system, as people would like to believe. And we put investigation panels virtually based on the present geopolitical zones for those who held positions. And because it was a law for people to declare their assets before, when they become governors or ministers or commissioners or head of security agents, they were investigated. Those that cannot explain the extra resources they have in terms of assets and in the banks, they were asked to surrender it. It was taken from them. But eventually I myself was arrested, detained, and they were given back their loot. So this is Nigeria.
You have once said that only God knows how much has been stolen from this country. But most worrisome, as you have also said, is that those with illegally acquired funds use them to fund your administration and destabilize the country. What have been the stumbling blocks in your efforts at making them pay for their sins?
Nigerians, I think, are very forgetful. I'm very pleased that the majority of Nigerians, what I believe, think that this country, this administration, under the circumstances, are doing their best. But, it's a capital but, people whom was appropriated funds, a lot of them were elected members, either at state level or at federal level. And their base still value them. You can accuse them or even try to prove that when they were elected members of the House of Reps and they were given ministries and so on, they had only one house and maybe a wife. But now they had several houses in Abuja, maybe in Lagos, and maybe 2 more wives. So really, if you try to work out their legitimate salary vis-a-vis their expenditures, they will be embarrassed. That's what I mean.
You have had cause to make a strong case for the establishment of specialized courts to fight corruption in this country. Do you believe that is still necessary?
Yes. To save time and to convince Nigerians we are serious. Because if you follow the legal system we inherited from our colonial masters, cases take 5, 10. But if you have sufficient courts, you develop terms of reference for them, you bring charges, immediately people are put before that court, they will come and defend themselves. But if you go through the system, especially if they still have some savings somewhere, they can get first-class sons, lawyers, to come and defend them. And the case will drag on until maybe either the judge dies or the committee got tired and they go back to their normal life. That's why I say sufficient courts are very important, especially in the cases of corruption, so that the Riot Act will be properly read to the public, that anybody who finds himself in a place of responsibility and misbehave, he will account for it. We shouldn't wait until people die and go before Almighty God.
Development, do you focus on railways?
I used to sit and watch even the network news. 2 years ago also, if you watch and see the number of people dying between Lagos and Ibadan alone because of bad roads, because there are no railways, you will be sorry for this country. That was why I made up my mind that one of the priorities is to make sure that the roads and the rails are rehabilitated. And you tell me, which country developed without infrastructure? Roads, rail, and power. All this country, you know that this administration has tried in terms of rehabilitating roads, in terms of rehabilitating the railway, in terms of increasing power. Relative to the resources and the time, we haven't done badly for those who want to criticize us objectively.
So are we likely to see major cities of the country connected by rail?
Yes, we are planning that. We are planning that, and we are grateful to China Republic. They have agreed to help us, and they are helping us. And we are doing our best. And now we'll go and ask people, ease this development has brought to them. To travel between Lagos and Ibadan used to be hell.
On the economy, Your Excellency, Nigeria recently exited its second recession due to the pragmatic implementation of your administration's economic policies and programs. Is it yet Uhuru? Are you satisfied with the performance of the economy so far?
No, I am not. That's why I'm trying even harder to make people, to allow their multinationals to develop more confidence in Nigeria and come and invest. When they develop more confidence in Nigeria, they will come and invest. That will give us employment, that will provide this, and the chain, right from the farms upwards, will be great, and that means a lot of employment. And this is our problem: large population, young population, unemployed population.
You promised them. How will you describe your efforts so far?
Well, you could recall, and if you don't, the business people and the smugglers will recall, we close the borders with Benin Republic and with Niger. With Niger, we have 1,500 kilometers border with them, from Lake Chad to Benin Republic. And there are business people that order things from Niger, but for
production. Why fertilizer?
Yes, because we want productivity, and productivity means that people can get food, basically, and we have to empower the farmers. Fertilizer used to be very scarce, used to be very expensive. We made sure it's available in all local governments. And we try to sell it at subsidized prices so that ordinary farmers can afford fertilizer. And I'm telling you, we made a lot of progress. If we haven't taken that initiative, we would have been in trouble. Why? Because, as I said, the petroleum industry has almost collapsed. We are not earning as much as we used to. And if we don't have the money, if we get 50 million people hungry, we will be in trouble. So we made sure that we made it available. And the response was very, very good, as you know.
Let's talk politics now. Unlike other political leaders, you came out so early to announce that you are not going to stay a day longer after the termination of your administration. Why come out so early to announce that?
Well, I hate fraud in any form. If I haven't made this statement and made it absolutely clear that I have sworn, I have sworn, I had the first term, and before the first term, I went to every local government in this country, all the 774 local governments. The second term, I went to every state, 2019. And I made a remarkable observation. The amount of people that came to see me in every state across the country were more than anybody can buy or force. So I am very pleased that Nigerians deliberately made an attempt to understand me honestly and diligently.
In the last 7 months, Your Excellency, 2 PDP governors have defected to your party, the governing APC. Does that give you hope that the governing APC will return power in 2023?
Yes, we are preparing APC to remain in power for as long as possible, in the sense that we said registration of members from bottom to top, from polling unit to ward, to local government, to state, to here in Abuja. We want to have a reliable APC in every state of the country. And we are going to give this a lot of publicity, because the success of this administration will depend on the survival of APC after we left. There's no use that we leave and then we leave with the party. The party should continue.
You still have 2 years to go in the execution of your mandate. Describe for us the kind of Nigeria you'd like to hand over to your successor.
I would like to hand over a secure, prosperous, confident Nigeria to whoever succeeds me. This is very important because there are people, if not in Nigeria, outside, that are watching the development of developing countries, the systems we are going through. I think no matter how reluctantly majority of Nigerians are understanding me and appreciating the efforts we are making. Because right from the word go, as I told you much.
Finally, sir, you have recently taken the second dose of your COVID-19 vaccine. How do you feel? Any side effect, Your Excellency?
Well, there is no side effect. I'm very pleased that I have got the second injection. But what I'm worried is wearing this takunkumi, I call it.
Mr. President, I would like to sincerely thank you for this opportunity.
Thank you very much indeed for leaving me alone.
Join us next time on yet another edition of NTA Exclusive. My name is Adamu Sambo saying bye for now.
ABC 383 Excellency. Congratulations. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
Muhammadu Buhari of APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law and scored the highest number of votes, is hereby
The Hamatan was just setting in. Wife of Malam Adamu gave birth to her.
An yaye shi ya samu ko a shekara biyu ce ko uku baban ya mutu.
Our dad died when Buhari was about 2 to 3 years old. We depended on our mother for everything.
Under the tutelage of his mother, at 6, young Buhari was among a few children opportune to be enrolled in Town School Number 1, Daura.
He attended Daura 1, located then at the Secretariat near Emir's Palace.
We went to the same primary school. Although he comes along with us to the stream, he never swims.
Nevertheless, under the care of his half-brother, Malam Dauda Daura, who was on transfer as headmaster, young Buhari completed his junior primary education nearby Mai Adwa, a thriving marginal town within the Nigeria-Niger border.
This is the relic of Malam Dauda's house.
Buhari's stay in Mai Adwa was brief. Muhammadu Buhari's ability saw him among those that passed and proceeded to middle school.
About 96 of us, 96 precisely, passed the exam and were shortlisted for middle school. This 96, they divided us into 2. 64 were sent to Malumfashi. 32 were sent to Kankia. I belong to the group that went to Malumfashi, along with Major General, late Major General Sheikh.
His dressing has not changed. You find that he's always in very neat kaftan. He was a head boy of the secondary school. Buhari is very keen in sporting activities like football, runnings, and all other things.
I know myself when we were playing cricket, but Buhari was playing football.
General Buhari was a student of this college. He was admitted in 1956, and then he graduated from here in 1961. All his records are intact right from secondary school 1 to secondary school 6. And all his reportation and the comments of his teachers in the file, from all indication, we can see General Buhari, right from his secondary school, is a person of good character, is a person with personality traits, is somebody who commands respect from his classmates and his teachers. He was even the head boy officer when they were there.
Cambridge examination. General Buhari, Sheikh Musa Radwa, went straight to the Nigerian Army.
Youthful Buhari enlisted in the Nigerian Army in 1961 through the Nigerian Military Training College and later on trained as officer cadet in Aldershot. Lieutenant in January 1963 and appointed platoon commander of the legendary 2nd Infantry Battalion. While in 2nd Battalion, Buhari attended the platoon commander's course and went to Congo on tour of duty. As adjutant, 2nd Lieutenant Buhari was the bearer of the color flag during the final UN Operation Parade, ending the battalion's historic second and last tour of duty in Congo. Subsequent to his military exploits in Congo, Buhari was sent to Army Mechanical Transport School quarters before proceeding to the Defense Service, Nigerian Army Corps of Supply and Transport. During the Murtala regime, Muhammadu Buhari was made governor of the then northeastern state, which comprised the entire northeast geopolitical zone. He subsequently served as Federal Commissioner or Minister for Petroleum and Natural Resources in 1976. Shortly before the military handover of 1979, Buhari was moved back to Army headquarters as Military Secretary and member, Supreme Military Council. With the Master's degree in Strategic Studies from the U.S. Army War College in Carlisle, Pennsylvania. From account of General Buhari's military records file accessed by astute This Day newspaper columnist Olusegun Adeniyi, Commandant of the U.S. Army War College, Major General DeWitt Smith, while conveying Buhari's performance to the then Nigerian Chief of Defense Staff, stated that Brigadier Muhammadu Buhari proved to be a most distinguished fella. He graduated with But General Buhari's legend had just begun. After the coup of December 31, 1983, he was invited by his colleagues to lead the nation.
Because of his anti-corruption character, that was why his military colleagues thought it fit to put him, because they know that nobody will fault him.
We knew there was insecurity, we knew there was corruption, we knew there was...
in disciplining and cultivate in Nigerians the culture of civic responsibility.
The military takeover of General Muhammadu Buhari in 1983, December 1983, was as a result of the deteriorating situation in the country, which was welcomed.
There was a general frustration in the society, and everybody could attest to that, because it doesn't take
It's that about this policy that will serve principally Nigeria's interests and then also Africa's interests, and a policy of concentric circles of interest and activities was then designed, where Nigeria will be at the epicenter. The core is the defense of Nigeria with our middle neighbors, and then with ECOWAS, and then with, of course, the continent.
A think tank about his electoral value and the need to persuade the People's General to join politics in April 2002. Having been convinced, Muhammadu Buhari threw in his hat and pitched tent with the All People's Party, later All Nigeria People's Party, ANPP. He won the ticket of the party but lost the presidential election to PDP's Olusegun Obasanjo. Leveraging on his political appeal and huge followership, Muhammadu Buhari again clinched the 2007 ANPP presidential ticket through a consensus that did not go down well with many within the party. He nevertheless squared it out with his PDP, termed as a flawed election. Buhari's party not only lost the election but also became disoriented as a vibrant Alongside trusted associates across the country, he formed the Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, just months to the 2011 elections.
We had a meeting in Abuja and
For the third time, Buhari headed for the courts to contest the presidential election. Although he failed to upturn even one of the 3 elections he challenged up to the Supreme Court, by attending all but one sitting of the courts, his tenacity of purpose was tested beyond the endurance of a casual Democrat. Muhammadu Buhari had decided that 2011 was the last time
by the then AC to go into a form of alliance with the then AM.
Drafting our constitution, our manifesto. Party together. And in spite of the cynicism, we knew where we were heading.
And that's how the APC finally came into existence.
While the processes of merger, convention and election of substantive party officials were being finalized, people of goodwill were working to again convince General Buhari.
That September, I said to him, you know, General, the situation that Nigeria is going to be in for
political permutations and calculations were altered. Now, exactly a month later, August 31st, the implosion within the PDP that led of the party was very significant because, again, it further altered the political landscape. Finally, when on 25th of November, the same year, 2013, the new PDP, led by their 5 governors, came over to join the APC.
In Abuja's convention, all eyes turned to opposition Lagos, where 5 contestants were bidding for the APC presidential ticket.
The night of the 12th, 11th and 12th December were the turning points in the history or the political fortune of APC, because we were able to demonstrate to the world that a free, transparent and credible primaries was possible in Nigeria.
Before even that convention, I as the chairman of the screening committee, myself and my colleagues, we sat with our aspirants, presidential aspirants, and they all gave their undertaking that they will support whomsoever emerged, that they will collapse their various structures.
This country cannot be written off. It can be done. And this country will still lead Africa.
We formed the APC from day one with the intention of changing the direction of Nigeria. We believe Nigeria is an African power and can be a major powerhouse in world affairs. But to do that, we need to change our direction.
So the fact that, you know, it ended that way, all of the actors coming together to say, we stand behind the country, and gave impetus, you know, to the newly formed political party.
Nonetheless, even a successful primary could not take the APC across a bridge that suddenly appeared too far. Advocate of Nigeria.
Yemi Osinbajo represented not only a religious balance but also
balance that complemented the flag bearer at the time.
We came out with a team that had such high integrity quotients and that satisfied both nationality balancing and religious balancing. And after that, it became an uphill task for the PDP.
Born March 8, 1957 to the family of Adeyemi Osinbajo, Oluyemi Oluleke Osinbajo attended Corona Primary School and the celebrated Igbobi College, Yaba, where he stood out as a child prodigy, winning numerous debates and laurels.
Yemi has always been an inspirational and academically focused person. I remember in those days when we were about doing our youth, our WASC in 1973, it was the first time that we were going to transit to doing it in June 73. So we exactly had about 4.5 years of school start years. And he was always encouraging us to have, because he was always reading, always to imbibe the reading culture, and encouraging all of us who are peers, age group trying to do school start at that time, to have that ambition of making sure that you have a distinction in the school start.
He studied and taught law up to professorial level at the University of Lagos. In between, he attended the London School of Economics and practiced law.
Yemi Osinbajo was my student. As a student, he was relatively quiet, but very cerebral person. And he graduated with his bare hands. He won't carry any big files or notes or books, and he would charm them, he awed them.
As Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, for 8 vital years, Professor Osinbajo initiated reforms that brought relief to the ordinary man and set the Lagos State Judiciary apart as a shining example in the administration of justice.
Quiet, self-effacing, very intelligent, a good lawyer, a religious person, the kind who can support the president without rancor or chaos.
You have in Yemi Osinbajo a distinguished lawyer who is well honed in the area of his discipline. Ensure that integrity becomes a touchstone for the government which he serves.
I think it portends great things for the future. Nigeria will only develop, make progress if the other way around.
With a balanced ticket, the APC plunged into the campaign trail, riding on a manifesto of change, anti-corruption and economic reconstruction.
No one wants to take the blame for what we've become.
The moment we came out with our candidate and his running mate, Nigerians took ownership of the party, and it transformed from being a political party to a movement.
Now they ignore us, our lives like a circus. When we speak, they won't hear us.
Before the election came in, many young people online had seen a few of us as leaders of the social media group, and they were willing to, they respected a few of us, knowing that we have some integrity. We were not being paid for the services we were offering. We were doing it because we were passionate about it. We were doing it because we wanted a change. Nobody Let the APC come out and say it. Nobody paid me a dime for what I did. We did it because we wanted a change. We wanted a future that our children will be proud of. So the young people, we are willing to join, saying that these guys are people who have integrity. They are people whose conscience were not being bought. Our conscience were strictly in our hands. We wanted a change. We don't need anybody to pay us. We don't want anybody's money. We don't want anybody to lure us. We wanted Nigeria to have a change of government.
At a time the nation was perceived to be in short supply of integrity.
The first thing the party did, as soon as it got registered in 2013, was to secure the survey of the large-scale national survey to ask Nigerians exactly what they felt was wrong with this government. Asking exactly what should be the priority of another government. And we came out.
British poets are wont to say, the nation's courage was born. From Yola to Yenagoa, Lokoja to Lagos, Kano to Calabar, the nation witnessed masses of humanity swarm their way to every APC campaign stop across the Federation. However, the 2015 campaign, as President Obasanjo described it, was one...
The 2015 electioneering campaign has been very acrimonious, I can say scandalous. Use any word to describe it, it was unbecoming.
Notwithstanding the testy campaign, candidate Buhari and running mate
We do not think like PDP people. PDP people want to be with the winning side. PDP people are in government to eat. We want to do the right thing.
Opposition politics is not attractive. It's a long marathon in the desert. You're running, there is no oasis for a drop of water. There's no shade under which to sit. The sun is going, the dust is blowing. If you don't have courage, you don't stay there. It's easier to run into the forest and enjoy the vegetables and the fruits. But those who have courage stay.
Back to the fundamentals of foreign policy, which is the defense of our territorial integrity, our security, and the welfare of our citizens. So we have to try to adapt the external environment, take advantage of changes in the world. For example, we now have BRICS, that is Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. These are the kind of organizations to which we should belong. International financial institutions to make them work. The African develop our country and therefore adapt our policies and try to work with like-minded states in order to achieve our objectives. Also, you have China developing like an infrastructural bank.